It is time for some dolphin facts. We have 2 more. In self-defense, bottlenoses have been seen ramming large sharks hard enough to push them out of the water. In an aquarium, a dolphin watched a human diver cleaning the viewing window. The dolphin then copied the driver, using a seagull feather held in its beak as a scraper. The bottlenose was so efficient and conscientious at the task that the human worker was never needed again. Interesting. A seagull feather. Now, this did mention books about dolphins. Jacques Cousteau. Jordy was mentioning an author who did research on dolphin communication and had weird ideas and stuff. Someone Lily. But as far as I could tell, it wasn't really related to the game. Like, Ed Annunziata might have read his stuff. He's acknowledged that he's read it, but it's unclear if it was before or after Echo. And in his research, he had something called ECCO, but again, the claim was that this game was they wanted to name it Echo, ECHO, and Annunziata liked Echo better because it's in Italian. I think it means I see, Echo, or something like that. So I don't know. The relationship between that the stuff Jordy was saying and this game, it seems very tenuous. So I don't know. I don't know what to think of that. Other than I don't think there's that much of a connection there. Ecco the Italian Christmas dolphin? What does he have to do with Christmas? Anyway, so I guess I'll get back at it. So I don't know. I don't know how much more stamina I have for playing Welcome to the Machine. But I'm gonna give it a few more tries anyway. If I do have enough of it, I can look up a password that would let me go straight to the boss fight, and I could practice the boss first, and then I could go back and do it or something. That's another option I could take. But I feel like I was getting pretty close. I feel like I was starting to understand what to do with the boss, even though like last time I fought the boss, it only lasted like 5 seconds because it ate me. But some of the times it lasted like a minute or 2, or so I feel like I can do it. I feel like today I can put Echo to rest. And if I get frustrated by this level, I will take steps to learn the boss. Sort of like I did with Bangayo. In Bangayo, there's a long level at the end. And then a boss fight that was just really ridiculous. So it's like 5 minutes to get to the boss. Similar to this. I think this is even longer, but it was a very busy and active level. It was fun to replay it. But I ended up taking a save state before the boss and then just figuring out the boss and then the next day I went back and I played through the whole level and beat the boss in one go. But the boss was it wasn't too hard once I knew how to survive more than 1 second against it. Like you just had to get out of the way really quickly, I think was the gist of what I needed to do. And this boss seems similar in that respect. Like if you go straight down and you're not firing preemptively, you'll run into vortex aliens and lose half your health right off the bat. I guess I should pause and look at chat. Tomorrow is Christmas. They'll show Santa Claus on a parade on TV. Peacock in a web browser. Hi there, Hootsmon Retro. At this point, I don't find this level so difficult, just way too long. What's still difficult is the boss. I haven't really I've been partially successful at the boss, but I haven't really figured out how to deal with its jaw. Every time I attack it, it eats me. Okay, into the box. But yeah, like this level by itself, like it took me an hour and a half or 2 hours to learn, I guess. Maybe an hour and a half. And then I started to be able to get through it fairly consistently, but there's some moments that just feel chaotic and I still just die, and I don't feel like it's even particularly my fault when I do, but I feel like I've mostly figured out the tricky parts of it and when to pay attention so that I don't have to think too hard about this level while I'm playing it. I can just kind of cruise through it. Hopefully. Into the Giger Zone. Almost got trapped there. Okay, there's an alien back there I need to deal with. I think there's two up here. Alright. Pretty far now. Gotta go to the right here. Alright. Yeah, I've been thinking if I get too frustrated with this, I'm gonna put in the password to go straight to the boss and learn the boss, but for now I'm just I'm sticking with the traditional and I wasn't able to play this game without hints either. Like, I did have to look up what to do twice already. They were pretty minor. Well, the asteroid boss was not a minor hint. The asteroid boss was... that was going to take me a while to figure out. And I mean, I think it could have. It's not that... like, there was a visual indicator of the orbs. Like, you hit one, it starts blinking, and then if you hit another one of the same color, both of them are blinking. Whereas if you hit a different color, that one starts blinking, the other one goes back. So, you know, I could figure that out eventually, I think, but it wasn't... I hadn't, after, I don't know, 3 hours of that level, and I just wanted to move on. Oh, okay, here we go. So, first attempt, 1 for 1. So my thought is... Oh no. Well, lost all my health now. Ah! I got eaten. Okay. That's the first attempt. Maybe I can't attack the mouth? I don't know. Maybe I need to do the eyes first? I feel like the most dangerous thing is the mouth eating me, and if I could get rid of that, then the rest of it would be easier, but so far I think I've only successfully attacked the jaw once. And that just means like I did 1 hit on it. I think you need to do many hits on it. But it has eaten me after destroying the eyes, so that doesn't, like I was wondering if you can't see you, like would it stop trying to eat you, but I don't know if defeating the eyes really affects its behavior at all, to be honest, so I'm not certain. There are a lot of mysteries still to the boss. Eclipse Moon said flashing, I'm not sure. Were you referring to there was flashing on screen? This is the kind of game that does occasionally have a lot of flashing, so... Oh, the password screen. I think there's a problem with the color decoding of my capture for this. There's something weird with the composite signal, I guess, that's confusing it. I was saying next time I play a Genesis game, I think I'll do RGB capture, which I can't play on the CRT, because I don't have an RGB input on my CRT. Okay, into the box, but I think it'll be worth it for better color. Like what I'm looking at on my CRT is very different colored than what I see on the capture on the stream, so there's a lot of magenta that doesn't make sense to me in the capture. I could maybe mod this CRT for RGB input, but I don't know. I don't know when I'll be up to doing that kind of operation on it. I already did a big operation on it to replace all its capacitors, after which the picture was improved a bit. So I'm glad I did that, but I also came out of that feeling like I could have very easily like damaged it and then not had a working CRT anymore, so I don't know. I have to kind of psych myself up for operations like that on my electronics. So far, this stage has been going really well today. Like, this is just my second attempt. Like, there was no death on it the first time. This one's... this is like 80-90% of the way through now. It's been no problem. I guess the first time there was one or two kind of hairy moments, but this time I haven't even really felt threatened or panicked. Just been kind of a relaxed run through of it. So yeah, I would say this level, it is very learnable. It's just, it's long, it's tedious. Not much happens for most of it. Oh. And then something like that happens, and you gotta start all over. Okay. Well, first death to the machine of the stream. The music is purring again. It's a nice tune. I wish it was longer. I was looking up someone had assembled a collection of Ed Annunziato's Echo-related tweets. And one of them was somebody asked him why this level is so hard, and his response was, "Welcome, my son." Which I think removes any doubt that the title has to do with the Pink Floyd song. That's the opening lyrics to the song Welcome to the Machine. If anybody doesn't know Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here album. Welcome, my son. Welcome to the machine. Oh. Well. That was a moment of mercy, I guess. I forget what the next line is. What did you dream? It's all right. We told you what to dream. Something like that. Where have you been? It's all right. We know where you've been. Or where you've been, I think, to rhyme with dream and machine. And that's kind of true of Echo, because, like, you're a time traveler, and like, the Atlanteans knew you were coming, and... So I feel like that line is actually applicable to the game. I don't know about the dream. There hasn't been anything about dreams, I don't think. But the text that has existed in the game has been kind of wonderfully sort of evocative, I guess I would call it. Like, it doesn't say a whole lot, but it gives you a lot you can imagine around it. Ooh. What does being a favorite? I don't know. I would have done that like a year ago. In Stream Together, you have a list of favorites, so that you can invite a person for Stream Together. So you're on my list of favorites because you're the person I stream together with regularly. I don't know why you would get a notification for that. That's weird. Why would you need to know that you... It's like a phone notifying you that you're on somebody's speed dial. It feels like a Seinfeld situation, like... Oh. That moment has gotten me sometimes. Fighting that one's awkward. I'm feeling a little bit. A little bit rushed by this level. I think sometimes Eclipse Moon follows prevailing context. Sort of like editing a Wikipedia article. I'm not sure. Okay. All right. No! I got eaten again. All right. We got the little weird attitude strings, pizzicato strings going on now that we get sometimes. I wonder if GamePro has any hidden here. Expired or not posted chat. It's interesting that Automod... Okay, Automod does catch when my mods say banned terms now, I guess. I wonder if you wrote pro tips, would it mod that? Oh, that wasn't letting me through that little gap. And it was turning red, but I think it gave me a mercy push through. Or as we called it yesterday, a dolphin T-spin. Okay. The machine is purring. Dolphin is in the box. That head was in a troublesome spot, but it seemed like it came out fine with just one hit. No! Oh, okay, let me through. That spot I've had trouble getting through once or twice, but seems like the collision just sometimes gets a little piece of Echo stuck in it. You can't break free. I just said break 3 instead of break free. I don't know why. Oh, I gotta go into the Giger zone. Okay. It's interesting that it flashed red there. Didn't look like I was being squished. I guess that was another instance of Echo getting kind of stuck on the edge of something. There's some sort of bug. I don't know if it's always when Echo is facing diagonally, but it seems to happen in cases where I'm diagonally and in a tight space and I get kind of stuck on a corner. Alright. Close to the end now. What got me the other time? I can't even remember. There's what I consider the last tight squeeze. And then there's not much left. We just go down and to the left, I guess. And finally into this dead-end looking thing. Okay. The most famous member of a tribe called Quest is Q-Tip. I think that's debatable, but think it's true now. Okay. Okay. One hit on the jaw. I want the Vortex Queen to carry stress there like that Mr. Bungle song. Okay. 2 hits. 3 hits. Ah, okay. There goes jaw number 1. Oh no! I'm being eaten. Okay, that went pretty well. Oh, I see. Yeah. I don't see a flashing like that on my CRT. It just looks... It looks kind of reddish. And on the capture, it looks blue and flickering and kind of waving. So I think there's something weak about the color interpretation versus my capture. Something that doesn't bother my CRT, but I guess bothers the FrameMeister. I wonder if I could tweak the settings on it. But the settings are really good for Super Nintendo, and they're good for regular NES. And they're good for my ST and my Amiga, I think. So there's something different about the color signal of my Genesis in composite that I don't know. Maybe the color burst is a strange shape, like maybe it's not a sine wave, or maybe it's really weak. Or maybe it's not symmetrical, like maybe the part of its phase is weird, like weak or shaped like the wrong waveform or something. And it's causing the capture to pick up these weird magenta tones in the dark areas. Oh. But yeah, it makes me wish I'd used the RGB capture for this. But I wanted to be consistent. I wanted to have the whole playthrough be the same visual apparatus. I didn't want to be like tweaking it midway. But yeah, next Genesis game I'll reconsider. But I would say, like, of my retro consoles, like the Genesis composite was always the worst looking, like even on the CRT. Even though the colors don't look off like they do on the capture, just the fidelity looks worse. The Super Nintendo has really good fidelity. The PS3 composite looks great, but that's like a modern composite generator, I guess, where I don't know, like the NES is trying to like fake both color and Luma in one square wave signal instead of like generating them separately and merging them, which results in a much cleaner color signal. which SNES does a lot better job of, and then, yeah, like PS3 does an incredible job of. Like, about as good as you could do it, I think. Smelting some coins. I think Echo could enjoy a good smelt now and then. Actually, would dolphins eat smelt? Or smelt saltwater fish? Would dolphins try exotic freshwater fish and add salt to them to improve their flavor, to their taste? That's where I got trapped last time, wasn't it? So it seems like I'm getting through this stage 50% of the time now, roughly. Whoa. Okay, I did that badly. Usually that head isn't chasing me so far. But I can't rely on things being the same every time. At least not when it comes to the vortex aliens. Hi, Dark 6. It's going okay. Had, I think, 3 attempts on the boss tonight so far. Third one went pretty well. And this level's going okay. I don't have to think too hard about it today. I think, one, I'm less tired. I felt a bit mentally tired yesterday trying this level. And it was kind of wearing me down. Today, I think I'm feeling a little better, but at this point I've learned the level. I don't have to think very hard about where to go. Yesterday I was learning it. And like by the end of yesterday I felt I had it down pretty well, but I was also tired, more tired. So I feel a little refreshed and ready for this challenge. But I still don't know if I'm going to do it fully. I might make a concession. I might use the password to go straight to the boss and just practice the boss. If I get too frustrated with it. But I'm hoping it won't come to that. Hoping. Do some laps, clear out these annoying aliens. Yeah, they're following me around. Oh, there's another one. They just keep coming back forever. Oh. I thought I accidentally went into the mouth there. I thought it was going to be a restart there. Whoa! Ugh. Okay. Okay, it seems like the jellyfish do not hurt me, which is good to know. Okay. Gotta worry about the farts, though. Ah! Okay, 2 jaws. Oh, I got hit. Yeah. Oh. Ah, I got hit. See, that went much better. Hey there, Cobra Commander. How's it going? Iliums? What does that mean? Oh. Okay, so that was my best boss rush yet. I think I got 2 jaws off the Vortex Queen. Oh, aliens! Yes. Yes, it's the Vortex. They've come to Earth. So the story of this game seems to be that the Vortex are from another planet, but that planet is dying. And... oops. That didn't happen very often, but... or I don't think that one's ever happened at death, but that's okay. This level's been fairly reliable today. It's just way too long. But, yeah, what was I saying? The Vortex. Their planet is dying, so every once in a while they make a raid on Earth and come and steal a bunch of creatures to eat. I don't know, like every... I wasn't clear how often it happens, maybe every few thousand years or something. But apparently every time they come, it's been more and more and more. And they were suspicious that the next time... oops. Oh, I'm losing my concentration on this one. The next time, they might wipe out the Earth. So... yeah, we learned this from messages left by the Atlantean civilization. We went there to use their time travel technology to go back to the beginning of the game where we were abducted, or all our friends and family were abducted, and get abducted with them so we can go inside the spaceship and fight the Vortex. That's what we're doing. That's the story of Ecco. It's been really neat. It's also been very, very hard. I've heard the CD version isn't nearly as hard, but I don't know. I've been enjoying it for what it is. I've also heard that the sequels are easier. There's also there's Echo to the Tides of Time or something. I've heard that's a lot easier. And then there's Echo Junior, which is children-oriented. So I think that's significantly easier. But yeah, it's been a really neat game. It's got a lot of weirdness to it. It feels very unique to play. It has really good art, really good music. Very distinctive. So I've liked it. I've been frustrated a lot by it sometimes, but I've liked it. Sometimes your dolphin just doesn't go through the gap. The dolphin isn't even racing. Something like that. There was a famous moment in Formula One racing where Ayrton Senna and what was the name of his rival? Prost? Something like that? I can't remember his name. But they had a collision on the racetrack, and it was a big scandal. And he said, I was racing, I had to go, there was a gap and I had to go for it. If you see a gap and you don't go for it, how can you call yourself a race car driver? How is that even racing? Because people were saying he shouldn't have gone for that gap because it was dangerous and they collided. So, I don't know, it was a famous quote from him. So I think of that sometimes. And think of it now when Echo won't go through the gap for some reason. It seems there's a bug in like the collision when you go diagonally, and I haven't quite figured it out, but it just happens sometimes. But I sort of interpret it as, you know, just Echo getting caught on a corner. As might happen in real life. Just a piece of skin gets stuck in there or something. But yeah, this level in particular is not like the rest of the game. It's this very slow, meandering auto-scroll where the edge of the screen kills you. That doesn't happen anywhere else in the game. And it's so long. I think it's like 6 minutes long. And you have to do it every time before you fight the final boss. And it takes a while to learn because there's like moments. Most of this level is like pretty low effort in terms of like staying alive. You can just coast and wait around. But it's not no effort. You have to keep from getting too complacent, because sometimes you do have to pay attention. Oh, that looked weird. That gap rejected me for a moment. I was worried it wouldn't let me through. Is there a racing game with Ecco the Dolphin in it? Did Echo get into like Sega All-Stars or Sonic All-Stars, whatever it was called? Okay. Into the Giger tube. So up here, I think is where I sometimes have a rough moment with the alien. There we go. Alright, almost through this level. There's not much left to it. I could still lose at any moment, but it's likely I will succeed at this point. We're in the last, like, 30 seconds or so, I think. We just go up a little bit into this box that looks like a dead end, but it's not. Okay. So, what I've been doing first is trying to find the aliens and get them out of the way. But yeah, the aliens kill you in 2 hits, but if you hit one, it's... These aliens don't exist until the last level of the game. Like, they're not even part of the game until this whole section of the game is like completely different than the rest of the game. Not that the rest of the game isn't hard, but it's not like this. So I don't know. it's hard to say. This is not representative of the game, I would say, but it's also, well, I don't know. You only have to deal with this if you want to try and beat the game. If you just want to play it, the first, I don't know. It might be hard to get through the first level, but there's a lot of just fun and interesting things to do swimming around, I think. It's good enough to play for a little while, even if you get nowhere. But yeah, if you want to beat this game, it takes... I don't know. There's a lot of retrying, a lot of patience involved, I guess. But I have found it fun. The thing is, I guess I've said this on previous streams, but like the levels in this game, I guess the CD version has checkpoints, but once you know what to do in a level, you can kind of swim quickly to all the points that you need to go very quickly, so it only takes like... Oh no, getting squished. But levels are like a minute long, if you know what to do. But they take, you know, half an hour to explore and figure out where you need to go first. So, I don't know. It's Like I've been saying, it feels like a game that I might like to replay, because now that I know what to do in all the levels, it might be fun just to run through them all quickly. On the other hand, some of the levels I just barely made it through, so I don't know. But it surprised me. It wasn't quite the game I thought it was going to be. All right. But yeah, I remember a few years ago I saw the streamer Gmail. He was doing this level for many, many days. I don't know how long it took him. But it sort of prepared me. I knew this was going to be coming. That this would be a thing. And it just made me curious about the game. Because I did have it originally like 20 years ago. And I can't remember how far I got in it. It's possible I didn't get past the first level. And it's also possible I got like halfway through. But I have like no memory of any of the solutions to the levels. Like they all felt kind of unfamiliar, even though a lot of the story points felt familiar. Where are we? Okay, we go. There's a little box in here. Oh, that one went off screen. Couldn't tell if I got it. Oh. There we go. I was worried about not getting through that gap. Okay. So it's weird because we come back to that corner in a moment, I think. Just like we went past this spot and went left before, and now we're going through it. So it's weird that like the way the level takes you through itself. You loop around. I don't think it makes sense. Like if Ecco was in control, you'd just be going toward the end, right? But what's making this thing move, and why is the rectangle around the screen impassable? Oh. That could have been the end. Oh. I was worried it wasn't going to let me through there. Alright. Hi there, Puzzle X51, how's it going? Alright. Another attempt. Oh. Somehow didn't seem to take much damage there. One. Oh, no, that was 3. Two. 3. Okay. Ah. This could be it. What? I don't know what happened there. I thought you were supposed to attack the head at that point. Maybe I've got it wrong. No, that was not a win. That's farther than I've ever gotten though. That was the first time I got past the jaw. Maybe I needed to use the sonic attack a bit first? I don't know. But yeah, I feel like I'm starting to get a bit more consistent about the boss. Though it also still feels like it could randomly get you at any time. Oh. So it feels like I don't have much further to go. Like only another couple attempts left probably before I get it. I hope. Well, the game just has a lot of chaotic elements. The main source of chaos is these aliens floating around. Because you can't see where they are. And sometimes they seem to randomly respawn and sometimes not. It's very strange to me that, like, through this whole level you get just health refill for no reason. You don't get this anywhere else in the game, and you don't get it on the boss. It seemed pretty reasonable to get on the boss after all you have to go through to get there. I don't know. But no. It's not how it works. In this area, yeah, there's a moment of warning where it flashes red. Oh, head's still there. Oh. And sometimes it seems to give a little bit of mercy when you get squished and just pushes you through the wall anyway. And you keep going. Oh, I got stuck on the corner. That's the thing, if you get hit once and are moving away from the alien, then you can generally survive. But if they're moving like the same direction as you, if you turn around, you'll be stuck in one place and they'll hit you again. Or if you don't turn away from them, they'll hit you again. Ooh, that one almost got me. Ooh. But the other thing is you tend to, or at least I tend to, play a bit more relaxed in the first half of the level, since I've seen it so many times, and it's not as much to retry yet. This is what I consider the halfway point. Going in the little box. Okay. Whoa. Ah! Seemed like it wasn't going to let me through there again. You can go on the right in that spot, but it always seems more convenient to go through that spot on the left, even though it sometimes gets you. Okay. Okay. The green clouds you generally don't have to worry too much about, because they only do like 1 damage, I think, but sometimes that's enough to augment the damage from the aliens. Alright. Getting back to the boss in a moment. All right. So. Oh. Not a good start. Yeah, so that time I randomly ran into the enemy, the aliens, which don't move, which aren't predictable. And then getting eaten, I would say, was my fault, because I attacked during the suction event. Oh. Yeah, there's so many parts of the level like this where very little is happening. So once you know it well, like, you can kind of rest a lot of time. Yeah, that spot there, you should really go vertical through. I forgot to get in place for it. I was too at rest. it just came out of the wall. I guess ideally I'd know this level so well that I don't need to waste effort tapping the attack button just in case, because you don't know when an enemy is going to pop out, but it does increase your chances of success to just keep pressing it a lot, just in case. Oh, this was a mistake. Okay. That went okay. That one I was worried about. I was worried about that one sneaking up behind. Yeah, I just always seem to be on the left there. Even though I'm worried about getting through that gap, sometimes it just doesn't work. But it usually works. You found your AV cables for your PS1? Do you have multiple PS1s? Because you're given a model type. I don't know the difference between them offhand. Hi there, Shin Meng. This is the only level remaining. Yeah, I think time to beat says it's like 5 hours or I I'm sure a speed run is like, I don't know, probably under 20 minutes. Like this would be probably like a third of the speed run, this one level. Because the other, in general, this game plays very, very fast once you know, if you know exactly what you're doing. So, but yeah, I saw a time to beat that said 5 hours, and I don't see how this is a 5-hour game unless like you're using save states and a guide, maybe. Then I'd say okay. All right. That's the machine. Back to the... Oh. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Okay, 1, 2, make one more hit. Okay. Oh, the aliens come from the top. It's very hard to avoid the debris. Is that the eye? Okay, now what? I don't know what happens after that. Parallel I/O port for an action replay. Burn disk using the stop and swap method audio file model. Yeah. I think I could use clarification about what to do there, though. And I did look up yesterday, what to do, but maybe I'll just read the walkthrough one more time. Vortex Queen. Dash into the body. No, that is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to dash into the body. Maybe not into the head. Maybe into the middle? I don't know. I'm doing something wrong though, because like dashing into the body has instant killed me twice now. Datel Game Boy adapter? What would that do? On a PlayStation? I pressed the B button, I think. Should have been a dash. Anyways, yeah, so this level isn't so bad now in terms of completing it. I can do it fairly regularly. Not every time, but a lot of the time. But then there's a final boss at the end, which it's taken a while to figure out how to approach. And I'm still missing the final component of it. A poorly emulated Game Boy. It has a built-in tune because it doesn't emulate audio. That's interesting. When I had a modded PS1, one of the things I did on it was I found a disc that was an NES emulator compilation. And at that point in my life, I'd never owned an NES, so it was kind of like my first experience playing a lot of NES games on my PlayStation. That was sort of how I introduced myself to Mega Man, the NES version of Bubble Bobble. I don't know, I probably played a bunch of other games on it. So it was neat that the PlayStation 1 could be an emulator for stuff. Back when the PS3 let you install Linux, I ran a Super Nintendo emulator on it, and I played some games that way. I had wondered if Super Nintendo could be emulated on PS1, but it seemed that the amount of RAM it had built in was like not enough for a lot of ROMs, which made it problematic. I think there were some attempts to play some Super Nintendo games kind of emulated on Super Nintendo, but they or emulated on PS1. Huh. That spot doesn't usually get me. That was kind of weird. I don't remember ever dying there. Felt like my attacks just missed or something. Nestor DC. Oh, so these are all for Dreamcast? Yeah, so I don't know. That's what I used Linux on my PS3. That's most of what I used it for. Playing Super Nintendo games. And then I did a little bit of programming experiments. Like I made a ray tracer using the Cell processor just to see if I could do it. It was kind of neat, but I was just kind of toying around with that. And I mean, I was at that time I had PS3 dev kits at work. I was working at Obsidian Entertainment, so like I could have experimented with the hardware more directly, but because I think the PS3 Linux, it couldn't access the GPU intentionally. So I think this was eventually kind of jailbroken. But it was just kind of fun to have. It had a better web browser than the built-in PS3 web browser. But I don't know, I was really annoyed when they did an update and all of a sudden they just basically switched that partition off and there was no way to recover the space. So it was like all the space that I'd reserved for Linux was now unusable, so I had to like back up my PS3 hard drive. No, come on. I don't know why that didn't work out. Usually I remember just hang around to the left there, but I was a bit too relaxed. But yeah, like ultimately by the time Linux was removed on my PS3, I'm trying to think, like, when did I get... That might have been around when I started just attaching a regular computer to my TV. It started to be easy to attach, like, normal desktop computers to HDMI, I think. So at that point, like, the things that I was using my PS3 for, I could do on a computer. It was just kind of annoying that they took this thing away from me and made it really... It just made it really... What? That's another death that's just unusual, like, doesn't really happen much. It just seemed that they were bunched up and my attacks weren't hitting like I expected, like I was aimed at them, but I was too close, I guess. Yeah, it wasn't too difficult to install Linux on a PS3, like you just burned a distro CD. The flavor was called Yellow Dog Linux, I guess. And like it was neat that I could use my PS3 as kind of a regular computer that way, but also I didn't need to, so I don't know. That's why I mainly used it to play Super Nintendo, just because it was hooked up to my TV, and it did that pretty well. Did the PS3 already run a Linux distro? No, you had to install it. Also, hello, Unstable Deus. Have you been here a while? I might have mistaken the color of your chat with Nelson Dubois. You're both orange to me. Oh. No! Yeah, that spot, because it's on the edge of the screen, and it's only 2 tiles wide, I think it's just error-prone for this engine. Sometimes you get stuck there. If I remember, I try to go vertical through it, but it's hard to line up for it. No, PS3's OS wasn't Linux. I mean, it might have had some Unix components to it, but it definitely wasn't Linux. No, it was SNES 9X. I don't think BSNES was on PS3. BSNES might have been around by then, but it was... I think this was long before it was called Hygen. Or Hegon? Okay, that's what you want. You want to go vertical through there. Whoa. There aren't usually that many piled up. Like, I think the PS3 file system was a Unix-style file system, but I don't believe it's something that could rightly be called Linux. I know PS2 also had that weird hard drive attachment. Oh. And I'm starting to forget what to do in this level. Yeah, I definitely hadn't heard of RetroArch at that point. But SNES 9X was a standalone emulator that was available and ran on that type of processor. I'm trying to remember what it was. Because it was an Intel... Like, the cell part was an Intel, and then it was a PowerPC. Of some variety. I still use SNES 9X for a lot of things, like... I just find it runs more easily. It uses less CPU. And the UI is kind of easier to deal with. I think I usually use BizHawk, though, for Super Nintendo, actually, emulating on computer. Or Mason. Actually, now I use Mason. Now that it has Super Nintendo support. I think that's what usually opens. But for a long time, SNES 9X or BizHawk sometimes. And I usually had BSNES installed for testing things now and then, just to see behavior differences, but I don't know. I can't remember the last time there was something relevant that wasn't like, you know, just a developer question of what does this SNES register do? What does BeastNest do? Is BeastNest correct or not? Usually it was, but I mean, there's still dark corners of SNES emulation and timing that BeastNest does not know about. But it does a pretty good job. Yeah, BizHawk does have good Lua scripting. What? Ooh. No? Okay. Oh, it keeps bouncing me out of these narrow passageways. It scares me every time. Alright, the turnaround. Okay. Oh. Yeah, that one can sometimes double hit me. Okay. So I've had less luck until now, but this run's looking pretty good. Oof. Oh. Man, that was right at the end. That was like the last minute. Just got trapped turning around. Sometimes you accidentally do a direct. So one of the so if you're turning, you can keep shooting, but if you do that, if you press exactly opposite the direction you're currently facing, you do a full turn, and during that whole time you can't move, you can't shoot. You're very vulnerable at that moment, and I did that by accident. I was trying to go in circles, but I accidentally turned back, and that was right when an alien hit me, so I was turning in place, so it hit me a second time, and that's why I died there. The death screen, yeah, the death screen, or the screen, it's really the start of level screen, but it always has the color from the previous level. So from the vortex screen it goes red, from this level it goes black. Ah. Yeah, Mason's SNES debugger is basically what finally got me to jump into Super Nintendo development. Like, finally there was a tool I wanted to use for it. I didn't have to make it myself. So I very much appreciated that when it appeared. Also good for Game Boy now. And presumably TurboGrafx 16, but I haven't really. That's one system I'm not really thinking about developing anything for. Now, if Mason had a Genesis emulator, that would really make my day as well. Because I'm not really happy with any of the existing Genesis debugging tools. They exist, they work enough. You can get something done, but I don't like them. Yeah, like there's several options for Genesis debugging, and it's none of them do all the things that I want them to do. And I've been thinking, like, if I do want to make a serious Genesis project, I'll want to modify something to be more suited to me. Okay, into the box. But I don't know. I'm not in a rush to make a Genesis game because I feel like a lot of people are already at this point. Especially because of that, I forget what it's called. But someone put together a C library that helps a lot with developing for it. Sega SDK, or I don't know what they called it. I can't remember at the moment. Something SDK. Which I think is pretty cool, but it's sort of what makes me interested in these systems is like knowing how they work. So like using somebody else's library that hides all of that is kind of not what I want out of working on retro platforms. I want to know how it works and engage with that. So that kind of thing is not for me, but it has made a lot of people have made Genesis game releases with it, which that part is cool. If I just wanted to make a game that ran on Genesis, I guess it would be a good tool. It doesn't really match my desires. Okay. What happened last time? Oh yeah, I had a weird turnaround near the end. That was just kind of a strange input error, like I mistimed the turn, I guess. I kind of want to wipe the controller. It's getting a little... Whoa. Pressing A makes a sound effect. Oh! Pressing A turns off the music. I can turn off the music for this level? Whoa. Whoa. I didn't know that was an option. I don't really want to, but I might have wanted to yesterday. Turn off the music, just play something else. Just for relief. I didn't know that it was... I don't remember reading about that in the manual. Could have been in there. Alright. Another attempt at this Vortex Queen. Oh no! The easiest way to avoid the suction is to wait for a suction to happen and then go right after it. Taking more damage than I hoped. When the queen goes so high... Okay. Oh. Ah. No, no, no. Ah. Well. The butthole. Well, I think one fart comes from each of the blocks. I could listen to Welcome to the Machine, but I'd probably get a muting. Oh. Oh. Well, yeah, there's a lot of things I could listen to. I don't think classic chips would fit the mood of this level. I'm not minding the music too much at this point, and I don't really want to replace it with something that's not related to the game. I could listen to the rest of the game soundtrack, actually. That'd probably be my best option. Right now the music's not bothering me. It's fine. It's a nice enough tune. Yeah, somehow that corner threw me back. I don't know why. But this dolphin gets stuck on corners sometimes. If I do listen to the Sega CD version, I was worried about the turnaround there because I didn't want to get trapped on the right. Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising if the Genesis music code and data was still in there. Though on the other hand, I don't know if the Sega CD, like the RAM in the Sega CD might not be as large as a cart, so it might actually make... What? Why were there so many? Like the RAM on the Sega CD might... I don't know how big it is. But, you know, if you're loading data levels one at a time to fit in a smaller RAM, then you would, like with the cart, you have access to a big ROM the whole time. Whereas with the CD, it would make sense to load just the level you're looking at, just the graphics you need right now, and leave the rest on the CD. So maybe they are in the CD, maybe they aren't, but could make sense to leave them out. Yeah, that would be a fun addition, like being able to switch the music on the fly. But that's also the kind of thing where if you're working at a game development company and somebody else is paying you to work on it, and you suggest an idea like that, they would probably say, don't waste time on that. You know? That's the kind of thing that if you're going to do, maybe you do kind of when you're off the clock. But that kind of thing is also, I guess, like the reason you see far fewer, you know, like cheat codes and stuff in games now. or Easter eggs. Like, it's harder to sneak Easter eggs into the data. There's too many people looking at it. And if they see it happen, they'll wonder what you're doing. What? It happened again. Wonder what you're doing with company time. I don't know. As video games became bigger budget and more corporate, things like big head mode become a lot rarer. You put them in if they're marketable. If big head mode will get you social media, then you put it in, I guess. I don't know. If the debug cheats you use to test the game won't go viral on Twitter, you get them taken out. I don't know. The feature and remasters to toggle back the original graphics. Yeah. Like, that thing definitely looks nice in a video. Marketing. Yeah, well, I'm just, yeah, like, it's harder to do anything in secret in games. Like, there tends to be a lot more oversight these days, with the teams being larger, budgets being larger. Not always. And I find, like, indie games are a lot more interesting to me than so-called AAA games. I was always annoyed by that term when it started being thrown around. And I always assumed it was like a baseball term. I thought AAA was like Major League Baseball or something, and AA was a minor league or something. But apparently it's an investment term about, like, bond, some sort of measurement of predicted bond performance or something. That surprised me. Whoa, they came from... How do I stop those guys? I don't remember seeing 2 aliens there until, like, the last 3 times I went through there, and I don't know what I'm doing different that leaves them floating around. Corporate baseball. In baseball, AAA is minor league. Oh. So is there a AA league and a single A baseball league? So it is a baseball term. So maybe I wasn't incorrect to think that. Whoa! That looked like the cloud did 4 damage to me in 1 hit. I thought they only did 1 damage. Maybe they're random, like the aliens. Okay. pretty far along now. What's a quadruple A game? I've never even heard someone attempt that term. Skull and Bones? What does that mean? Was that the name of the game? Oh. Yeah, if you're gonna do a turnaround, you want to do it in the middle of the screen when you don't see any aliens. Otherwise, it's better to keep circling. Oh, you hit that one down there? There we go. And oftentimes you can't tell if you've killed the enemies, because like they're not on screen and your hits may not hit them off screen. Oh, I gotta deal with that guy. Okay. Oh, no, there's another one. Okay. Now I can focus on the jaw. Seems like I despawn the farts if I scroll them off screen. Oh! No. That was not what I wanted to hit. Oh! Okay. That should be it for the... Okay. If I do it from up here, it's... maybe I can avoid the debris sometimes. got aliens. Ah! Turning around is always a mistake. So that's the problem. If you hang around at the top, more aliens come in. But if you don't hang around the top... Yeah, I know skull and crossbones. If you don't hang around the top, then you get hit by the shower of debris. Oh man. It does feel like I'm getting there. It's starting to last a while against the boss. And it does feel like a good idea to go for the jaw first. That seems to be working better. So I was worried that, like, you needed to do the eyes first. I wasn't sure. So there I was shooting at the one that was above the top of the screen, but it was too far gone for me to hit it, I think. Could also be that I was tapping too quickly, so maybe it wasn't going far enough. Okay. That head's still out there. Try to go straight down through that one. Okay. I feel like the head's still out there. There we go. Finally got it. With the relief of a boss fight that lasts more than a minute, this tune is a lot more tolerable to come back to. It's very different than just being stuck on this level and not being able to beat it, and it just plays endlessly. Why can't I hit these? Okay. See, there weren't two following me, but I guess I did a better job of cleaning up beforehand, because I was deliberately trying to. That moment felt weird. So I guess you're right, Eclipse Moon. I think only one block is actually firing down there. Ah! No! That's disappointing. That was pretty far in. Like, I would have imagined, I guess, during PS4 or maybe PS5, like some companies trying to call their game, oh, it's better than AAA, it's quadruple A now, and I don't know. Just silly, I guess, but I'm just wondering, like, what you're promising about your game that would make that meaningful. Well, the previous thing had only 3 A's. And the title has 0 A's in it. Hi there, Ton Nagasa. How's it going? The quadruple A game will be 512-bit. PS1 was 32-bit, and PS2 was therefore 64-bit, and PS3 therefore 128-bit. PS4 256, PS5 is 512-bit. By the doubling every generation logic. We're not out of the days of meaningless buzzwords. Those still abound. Well, to me, AAA meant that... well, I guess at that time... Like 15 years ago, it meant your game probably had a $10 million budget or more. As opposed to an indie title, which might be like $1 million or less. And there's probably a gray area in between. I imagine the budgets are a bit bigger now. That's my ballpark for like 15 years ago. $70 was a normal game price here, so I guess 70 US was there. Why is that happening now? That was never happening before, but like 4 times now I've seen 2 aliens come up through there unexpectedly. What am I doing that's causing them to bunch up? Yeah, SIMD instructions being bit count? I don't know. I mean, the Atari ST is named ST because 1632, because the 68,000, it has a 16-bit bus, but it has 32-bit internal registers. So, like, in that respect, the Genesis is 32-bit. But they put 16-bit on the console, and that's, I think, what got everyone start talking about bits, because nobody talked about bits before Genesis claimed to be 16-bit. Before they put that 16-bit on that, like, red ring on the console. Or wherever they put it. was more of like just kind of a vague term, occasionally applied to a CPU. Okay. TurboGrafx 16. But I think the TurboGrafx 16, that name, was that name after the Mega Drive was using 16-bit? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it had been an important part of like CPU things for a long time, so like home computers were using 8-bit and 16-bit, but in a way that was a lot more meaningful. Often more meaningful. Yeah, what I mean is, like, Mega Drive in Japan would have been, was that like 88? And I think PC Engine was a little bit earlier, but it didn't get the TurboGrafx 16 name until it came to the States. So in the States, it would have been the first thing called 16-bit, I guess, maybe? Yeah. Or were they actually the same month in North America? I didn't realize they were so close. I thought TurboGrafx 16 was slightly earlier. Was it earlier in Japan? What have we got? Oh. Okay, so it was 1 year before Mega Drive. And then there was the Jaguar claiming whatever it was trying to claim. Was it saying 64-bit? I don't know. I can't even remember. I don't know. At that point, they weren't doing anything meaningful with that number. Like on the Genesis, it was meaningful to call the 68,000 a 16-bit CPU. That was fair. The TurboGrafx 16, I'm not sure what you should call 16-bit about that. Because I think it's still an 8-bit CPU. It's just like a faster one, faster variation of the 6502. Yeah, but the graphics processors were never using 8 or 16 bits. Like maybe they have an 8-bit bus. But like, what? I hate it when that hole doesn't work. Like, graphics didn't have the same operations involving bits as a CPU. Like, it didn't make sense to call a graphics processor 16-bit. I mean, it was a graphics processor belonging to that generation, and it had similar features to that generation. So basically it had more colors, but most of the colors of that generation were 4-bit colors, selecting from 16 colors. Or that's not 16 bits, that's 4 bits. And I think the TurboGrafx actually had a lot more palettes than the Genesis. It had a lot more selection of color, but it only had one background layer, which was like its big kind of disadvantage versus the Genesis. So the Genesis had 2 layers, and the Super Nintendo had like 3 layers, or sort of 2.5. Ah, damn it. Or in one mode, 4 layers, I guess, but 4 half layers, maybe. But yeah, the sort of 2-layer parallax scrolling and 4-bit color seemed like the kind of defining features of that generation. I feel I'm losing my concentration on this one. So I mean, like, the TurboGrafx, the graphics look 16-bit, even though it has less of the parallax effect than other systems of its peers. Unique color count on a single screen would be the most useful marketing number for the PC Engine. Yeah, probably. So yeah, I think it had 16 palettes available of 16 colors or something like that. So yeah, you could get 256 colors, whereas like the Genesis only had 64 on-screen colors, I guess. Unless you do palette changes mid-screen, but that's kind of getting fiddly. I don't think a lot of games did that, but some did. Okay, I'm worried about this head. It's hard to turn around to shoot things that are chasing you. And if you miss one, they just keep following you forever. The Super Nintendo could also do 256 color graphics, but it was slightly more limited than the TurboGrafx 16 in that respect, but I forget. Bonk doesn't look like a tool? What video game character looks like a tool? What is that a reference to? Oh, that's how you would have marketed it. Okay. I can reset the music. I can give my... That probably increases the effectiveness of the little mental break. Wow. Ah. Oh, okay. See, this time only one head is chasing me. Is it because... Was I going through the right side when two appeared? But if I go on the left side, I get hung up in the hole sometimes, and that's a different problem. I seem to be mostly successful in doing that. Oh. Alright. We've reached the Giger tube. Oh. Yeah, I was worried about that spot. I got through it this time, though. I did take a hit, but I didn't take two hits. Which is, I guess, why I survived. Clear my mind of Whimsy. Clear my mind of Echo. Hi, Jingle Bell Rainbow, how's it going? The best dolphin-based shooter on the Genesis. Maybe. Maybe. Wait, what was that? What was that shooter where you're a dolphin pilot? Is that UN Squadron? Is that on the Genesis? Or is that just on Super Nintendo? Is Echo a shmup? It is right now. This is definitely a shmup level. The rest of the game, not really. I mean, you could shoot things, but it wasn't what you needed to do most of the time. Okay. Dolphin Civilian. Oh, I gotta play Civilian. That's a really neat game. Okay. Oh. Yeah. I think I'm kind of learning patterns to avoid hitting those fart clouds. I'm getting a bit better at aiming my jabs at the jaw. Well, that looked like I should take damage or maybe get eaten. Okay. So... Okay. Oh! Is that what I do? Oh, I took damage from that, though. The aliens are coming for me. Oh. Okay, 3 hits on the body. I'm getting there. Yeah, the Arrow Fighters, is that what it was called? Arrow Fighters 3. Arrow Fighters 2. Oh, okay. Arrow Fighters. Was that on the Genesis? Yeah, I remember that Penny Arcade comment a long time ago. It's kind of weird. I remember reading Penny Arcade and liking it a long time ago. But like going back, I was trying to find like what's a good Penny Arcade comic that I could reminisce about what it was like, why I found it funny, but I couldn't find a single one that I still find funny. It's just weird somehow. I've lost my sense of whatever was funny about it. Alright, back to the machine. That was by far the best attempt yet. Or maybe not that far. Well, I got 3 hits on the body, which I had never done before. But it also seemed difficult to hit the body and not take damage, which seems a bit of a problem. You gotta hit it and then immediately hold the other direction. I don't know if that's a good idea, because an alien pops out right when you hit the Vortex Queen. And I think you want to stay facing that direction so you can shoot it. "8-Bit Theater." The same thing happened to you with Penny Arcade? What was funny was that people were talking about video games in a comic, perhaps. Well, at that time, like, a webcomic was more novel. There weren't that many that I knew about. And they were just, like, keeping up with, like, every day, let's have a new comic. So it was it was something. It was consistent. Ah, came through the floor. It's not usually where I see it, but I was also waiting for it. Oh, they were Neo Geo. Okay. Whew. Okay, it let me through. It gave me mercy. Sometimes it does this. Sometimes it does not. You're getting an AES. I don't know what AES is versus... I know there's different kinds of Neo Geo, but I don't know the differences. Okay. Oh, secret head popping out from behind the wall, as it happens. Oh, I see. AES, MVS. It's sort of interesting how, like, Neo Geo seemed to hang on in the arcade space, like, long after most other companies had given up or just stopped appearing. Like, I could often find those, like, 4-game Neo Geo machines with, like, Bust a Move in them or something. Or Metal Slug. Okay. So almost at the end here. As long as nothing goes horribly wrong. Sometimes it does, though. Sometimes something goes wrong at this point. Okay. Nansen will have every game. Dolphin Blue, in which you do not play as a dolphin. I don't think I've heard of Dolphin Blue. Jabberjaw is the most futuristic shark you ever saw. Was that an actual product? It seems like home arcade cabinet setups are, like, I've seen like ready-made ones in like hardware stores sometimes. So I guess that's becoming kind of a thing that people build frequently. Okay. Looked like we left an alien behind up there, but it seems like as long as I stay down here... Okay, I was gonna say they don't usually come for me, but this one came for me. Where's the other one? It's still here. I felt like I saw it. There it is. There's the head. They can hide. They're sneaky. So I'll wait for the breath. Because the best time to attack is after the breath ends, because that's the least likely time for another breath to happen. It seems. That's my logic. It seems to be serving me okay. It seems best to hit the jaw at an angle so that I bounce off. Maybe I need to do that with the body as well. I say body, but it's just a head. The body of the head. As opposed to parts of the head, I guess. Oop. There we go. Okay. Ah. I hit so much there. Okay. One. Two. I went right through. 3. So I think I want to be above the eye, right between the eyes, I don't know. 4. 5. Oh! This looks like... Whoa! Oh, I was worried that she's puking out the dolphins. My friends. We got it. We got it. We got it. I've put down the controller. It seems this is automated. Echo is happy. This music feels like the end of something that's going to have a sequel. Your song will echo throughout the vast ocean. Oh, am I? No, I'm not pressing anything. Thank you, Echo. Airwolf? Oh, it is like Airwolf, isn't it? We will sing of you forever. You've saved us. You are great. Do you think the vortex are destroyed? I don't know. I mean, in the present, maybe? But we can time travel. Oh, now we got our formation. We've got our choreographed dolphin dance. The last fight. What? What is this? Oh, yeah, I think someone said that you get the password for the final battle after beating it, which I guess you can use that. You could give this password to a friend to get them through the machine. Oh, here we are. Credits. I pressed a button there. Is this going to be one button per... No, it is going to auto. Oh. I escaped the machine. It is the Mike Tyson code, yeah. I was saying that it reminds me a lot of Punch-Out, because like Punch-Out, when you fail to Mike Tyson, you gotta do a few minutes of the previous Mr. Macho Man or whoever it was. Fox programmed this. But yeah, you could give this code to a friend and then they wouldn't have to fight the final boss, or they wouldn't have to do the machine over and over again. Did they write in BASIC? Did it say BASIC programmers? I imagine around this time, like, most programmers got their start maybe in BASIC or something similar. I did, certainly. Was someone named Magyari? Yeah, that does sound like... Thank you for playing Echo, Echo, Echo. It's an echo of echoes. I mean, you could probably do some parts of something in BASIC. There was compiled BASIC. You could do a lot with it. Like your low-level library code. So there's no music after after beating the game. It just goes to the title screen, no music. Which is interesting. But like compiled BASIC was pretty usable for high performance stuff as long as you had like libraries for your low level stuff, like for doing your graphics and whatnot. So if I press the button, oh, pressing buttons doesn't do anything. This is the end screen. This is the game over. All right. End of game. Well, yeah, Echo doesn't have game over because you have infinite lives. Produced by or under license from... Oh, I've lost signal. Is it going to come back? There we go. The license screen was hidden by the loss of signal. So let's try that password, just for fun, I guess. I was hoping it would have like a death counter or something, because like my password changes every time I die. So what do we got? LTV P, and this definitely isn't the password that I saw when I was like looking up. Maybe I want to use the password if I get too frustrated with the last fight. So yeah, I guess I can just do the fight. Oh! Oh, it's exactly like the Mike Tyson code because it sends me back here. Look at this. That is hilarious. That is really hilarious. Oh. Well, I'm not gonna hang around on that. Oh. Okay. Well. That's so funny that it is like the Mike Tyson code in that way. I have to wonder if Ed Annunziata was a fan of Punch-Out and if he was thinking of that with this. Because it does remind me a lot of it. And I was saying it also reminded me of Bangai O also had a very long, like it was several minutes. I don't know if it was 5 minutes, but it was like a several minutes final level. But the final level was really engaging and it was fun to like do faster and better. Whereas this, the final level is numbing. It's an endurance of will. Like even the Macho Man fight in Punch-Out was pretty engaging. But Bangai-O's was a really wonderful game. Like I highly recommend it, even though the last level is unreasonable. Well, just because the boss, it took a lot of tries to figure out what to do on that boss, but once I knew what to do, the boss wasn't that hard. Has my opinion changed on Echo? I don't know. I guess... Well, I didn't remember it so well, and I didn't really have an opinion of it being particularly bad or good. It's still as distinctive and kind of spooky and imagination stimulating as I always felt it was. But having played it, my opinion, I think I love it. I liked it more than I was expecting. So I guess if my opinion's changed, it's changed in that way, but I don't know exactly what my opinion was before. Other than it was a game I always meant to go back to and hadn't got around to for a few decades. I'm not going to do the sequels anytime soon. Echo Jr. sounds like it's a kind of a standalone thing. That might be a good one for just like a chill afternoon or something, since it's like the children's game, I guess. Maybe, in theory. Maybe it's easier to get through. Yeah, it's such a unique game, and I love it for that. I don't think that final level is good, but it can be done. I don't think the boss fight before that is good either, but again, it also can be done, you know. There were moments of great frustration through this game, but you know, once I got through them, it's fine. I had to look up a hint twice, maybe 3 times. And that was okay. I don't like having to look up a hint because it means like you're spending a lot of time in frustration and you're just at the end of wanting to experiment with the game. But I'd say it was I liked it. I loved it. This is a really good game to me. And it seems very replayable because now that I know the levels, like they would be fast to replay. And I am a little bit tempted to play the CD version for comparison, but I don't really want to do it right away. And I figure by the time I would, I'll probably have forgotten the levels a lot. So I don't know. Maybe. But I've got too many other like games that aren't a remake of something I've already played that I want to play. So maybe I won't get to it. But I am curious about Tides of Time. I had heard a lot more people say Tides of Time was something they played much further into. I've heard a lot of people say they haven't gotten through the first level in this game. So, I don't know. But, no, this has been good. I've been glad to play this. And I can't recommend it generally, at least to people who want to beat a game. But I would recommend to anybody, like, try the first level of this game, because like that level by itself is just fun to see and play with. You can have an hour of fun with this game if you've got it, like maybe on Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. I had it there. Years ago I had it on a cartridge as well. But yeah, like it's a game that's worth trying for sure. I don't recommend trying to beat it for most people, but some people would enjoy it the way I do. So I don't know. Yeah, in my opinion, good game. Very good game. Great music. Great concept. Unique controls, even though they're often frustrating. There's, you know, they're a little bit buggy, but a lot of great games are. Yeah, I have that on PS3 as well, the Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection, which I think also has the sequel to this game. It has a lot of pretty cool games on it, and it was like $20 when I bought it. It was like 50 games, and they were a good collection of games. Yeah, I think Aquaria was highly inspired by this. It's underwater and has similar movement. And maybe you can transform it into a dolphin, I'm not sure. I do think Jordy played Aquaria. I think I saw him playing Aquaria at one point. A dolphin is a kind of fish. That's what Coca-Cola said the other day, that a dolphin is a land fish, but also with the caveat that all mammals are land fishes. So I don't know how much to to accept that one. Anyway, I think it's a good time for me to end this stream, and I'm glad I finished this before December begins. Start thinking about December. And maybe I'll have time for Enemy Tempest of Violence stream sometime soon. This game was reminding me of that a lot, in that you have to explore a level for a long time, and then you have to learn how to do it fast and efficient. This game has that, but not nearly to the same kind of demands as Enemy Tempest of Violence. This game has other kinds of demands. I don't know. Like, I haven't reached something on the level of Welcome to the Machine in Enemy Tempest of Violence. But it may yet have that in store. I don't know. I'm only like a third of the way through that game. It's a much longer game. But maybe I'll play that soon. Get a few more levels in. And then December, DOS games. Anyway. Alright, that's it for me tonight. Let's find